Lewis for Ferrari. As Formula One fans, we always want Ferrari to do well, don't we? And I'd love to see that come right for Lewis. He seems a bit happier. He will be great at using the tools that are available to him with this new, under the new regulations. He's got to beat Charles Leclerc on the other Ferrari because he's right on it as well. But a happy Lewis has always been, and not just a Ferrari, always been a fast Lewis. So I think if he comes into the season, and I have to say Ferrari have been quite innovative over the winter and they look in a better place than we've seen them for a few years now. So I'm confident that Lewis will have a better year.
Lewis Hamilton aims to be stronger than ever in the 2026 Formula One season, and some ex-F1 legends are already predicting their 2026 champion. And there is no one else. It's Lewis Hamilton. Yes, you heard that right. A happy Lewis has always been, and not just at Ferrari, a fast Lewis. Martin Brundle.
With Ferrari, because they are the testing Formula One world champions, which we know means absolutely nothing at all. But let's start outright pace. They top the test. As we were saying on our podcast episode, the regulations have changed this year. Now every time the drivers hit a straight, they're able to open the rear wing and the front wing, reduce the drag, reduce the downforce, increase top line speed. Every team, that rear wing opens. Ferrari's doesn't just open, it flips 180 degrees and goes upside down. Now, what does that do, right? The basics of aerodynamics in Formula One are the opposite of wings on aeroplanes. Wings on aeroplanes are designed to provide lift and launch them up into the sky. Wings on Formula One cars are upside down and designed to push the cars down onto the track and increase grip. So this wing flip in 180 essentially turns it into an aeroplane wing and induces lift. And that tiny little winglet at the bottom just helps to keep those tyres down on the ground so the rear tyres aren't lifted up into the air. It's incredibly smart. It means the Ferrari is lightning in a straight line, and as we saw from their practice starts, the Ferrari off the line, I don't know if you guys saw the last video of this, because it's madness.
I mean, who didn't see it?
You've got all the other cars lined up, row 1, row 2, row 3. Lewis is back on like row 10.
I think he started from 9th.
I think he started
There were
from
gaps
Qatar.
between each row as
Like
well.
he wasn't even in Bahrain anymore.
Yeah,
And by the time they got to turn 1, Lewis was P1.
Yeah.
The way it looks at the moment, Ferrari could qualify on the back row of the grid and be leading the Grand Prix by turn 1. Like, that's how good that car looks.
But on the other side, Martin Brundle is also backing Lewis Hamilton's ex-teammate George Russell, saying, "I do think he's ready for it," of the 28-year-old who is entering his 8th season of F1.
Well, nobody's got more confidence in George than George. And I like the way he goes about his racing. And he's done the hard yards at Williams for a number of years. He moved to Mercedes just as they stopped dominating, kept his head down. He is the number one in the team. He's still got, I think Kimi Antonelli's teammate will have a great season as well. But George has got all the confidence he needs to win races, we've seen. And I think to go and win a championship if it's available to him.
And on top of all of that, Lewis Hamilton's ex-team boss, Toto Wolff, is watching everything unfold from the Mercedes garage, absolutely stunned by what Hamilton is producing at Ferrari in 2026.
When we resigned the contract with Lewis, we opted for shorter term. And so the events are not a surprise, maybe the timing. So what happened is that we got together for coffee in my place in Oxford, and him returning to the factory. And he said to me that he has decided to race for Ferrari in 2025. And that was basically it. And we had a good hour of conversation. This is where we are.
Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, because today we are breaking down why the legends believe Lewis Hamilton is going to win the 2026 World Championship. The evidence is undeniable. Let's start with the basics. Who is Lewis Hamilton? 7 World Championships. That is one more than Michael Schumacher. The man everyone said was untouchable Lewis didn't just match him, he surpassed him. 103 race wins, the most in Formula One history. 104 pole positions, more than any driver who has ever sat in a Formula One car. And here's what people forget. Lewis Hamilton doesn't just win. He wins in the rain. He wins from the back. He wins when the pressure is at its absolute maximum. Yes, 2025 was painful. The ground effect era wasn't kind to his driving style. He failed to reach a Sunday podium at Ferrari. Critics were loud. Pundits were circling. Some people actually wrote him off. This off-season, Lewis Hamilton did not go on holiday and hope for the best. He went to WAR with himself. On his Instagram, Lewis posted a series of workout videos that sent shockwaves through the F1 world. Lifting sessions, cardio, flexibility training, strength and endurance blocks. The kind of program that would break most athletes half his age. And his caption? Let me read this word for word. This is the most I've ever trained between seasons. I'm pushing hard every day to show up stronger than ever this year. With lifting, cardio, flexibility, and strength training, everything is about progress and endurance and going further than the day before. See you soon, Melbourne. He is 41 years old. 41. And he is training harder than he ever has in his entire life. Let that sink in. This is not a man winding down. This is a man who looked at a difficult 2025 season, stared it dead in the eyes, and said, "You made me stronger." Now let's talk about the weapon, because Ferrari have not just built a car, they have built Lewis Hamilton's dream machine. In Bahrain pre-season testing, Ferrari unveiled a rear wing that can rotate 180 degrees. Team boss Fred Vasseur, in typical style, nicknamed it the Macarena. Innovative, aggressive, and completely legal. But it gets better. Both Hamilton and teammate Charles Leclerc demonstrated launch starts in testing that left every other team looking like they were driving in slow motion. Ferrari's acceleration off the line was on another level, and Hamilton himself was beaming in Bahrain. He said the SF26 has, in his own words, his DNA in it. He helped design aspects of this car. He called it fun to drive. When was the last time you heard Lewis Hamilton call a car fun? That is a man who has found his home. It is not just Hamilton saying he is ready. The legends of Formula One are backing him. Martin Brundle, former F1 driver, one of the most respected voices in the paddock, said something this week that stopped the F1 world in its tracks. Speaking on Sky Sports, Brundle said, "A happy Lewis has always been, and not just at Ferrari, a fast Lewis. A happy Lewis is a fast Lewis." Brundle went further. He said Hamilton will be brilliant at using the new tools available under the 2026 regulations. He said Ferrari look more innovative than they have in years. And he said he is confident Lewis will have a better year. When Martin Brundle says he is confident, you listen. But here is the twist. The same. Martin Brundle, who is backing Hamilton, is also backing George Russell at Mercedes, saying, "I do think he's ready for it. Ready for a championship fight." And where did Russell spend years learning the craft? So even when Brundle praises Russell, he is reminding us that Hamilton was the standard. Hamilton set the bar that everyone else had to clear. And now, the subplot nobody can stop talking about. Toto Wolff, the man who built the most dominant team in Formula One history alongside Lewis Hamilton. The man who won 6 consecutive Constructors' Championships. The man Hamilton trusted for years. Because while Mercedes looks strong with George Russell, there is something deeply uncomfortable about watching Lewis Hamilton rediscover his joy, help design a race car, and walk into Bahrain looking like the OLD Lewis, the unstoppable Lewis. The Lewis who made Brundle's words ring true. Happy Lewis is fast Lewis. Toto Wolff let him go. He watched him walk out the door and into Ferrari. And right now, as Hamilton trains harder than ever, and Ferrari shock the paddock with their innovation, Toto Wolff is watching from that silver garage. Absolutely stunned. The bookmakers have him as the 4th favourite right now. But remember this moment, remember this video, because when Lewis Hamilton steps out in Melbourne on March 8th, the very first race of the new 2026 era, The whole world will be watching. And somewhere in that Ferrari garage, a 7-time world champion who trained harder than he ever has, who helped build a car with his own DNA, who found his happiness again, is going to remind everyone exactly what he is capable of. Martin Brundle said it best: the F1 legends know it, and deep down, even Toto Wolff knows it. A happy Lewis has always been, and not just at Ferrari, a fast Lewis. Lewis Hamilton, stronger than ever. 2026. This is his year. If you believe it, smash that like button, subscribe for more F1 content, and drop a comment below. Do you think Hamilton wins in 2026? I'll see you in Melbourne.
Because we're about to see one of the most eagerly anticipated cars of this 2026 F1 season. Let's go live now to Maranello and see the new Ferrari, which in the last few minutes has come out of the garage in Fiorano. Ted Kravitz is there. What was the big moment like, Ted? Is this going to be the car that Lewis Hamilton has really coveted to bring him success in those red overalls?
Well, he'll certainly be hoping so, Craig. But, you know, the launch of any Ferrari is always a very special occasion. But this one, really more so. The fans have been up on the hill, and we've just seen it. It's come out of the car, it's come out of the garage, and is now going around this Fiorano track. And take a look. It actually looks smaller. It looks different. There's a bit more white on the engine cover as part of the team's visual identity, which has changed.
Lewis Hamilton, 2026, Bahrain. Ferrari's new SF26 ahead of the 2026 season has stunned every fan, every teammate and ex-drivers. Nico Rosberg, the man who beat Hamilton to a world championship, looks absolutely stunned after Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc's insane performance ahead of the 2026 season. And today we are breaking down his driving style, his records, and why everyone is shocked and stunned. Let's get into it.
The team's visual identity, which has changed a little bit for this year. But the thing I've noticed straight away is this opening of the rear wing that we're seeing that all of these cars are going to be doing this year with the new regulations. And the new engine sound, Craig, that's really different. And we started to hear this with the other big team that ran their car yesterday, which is, of course, Mercedes. But now I'm seeing, and more importantly, hearing it on the Ferrari. It really does sound different. It sounds louder, it sounds more raspy. Of course, this is to do with the new engines. They've changed one of the key components.
Okay, so first, if you are new here, let me tell you why Lewis Hamilton is not a normal driver. This man has 7 world championships. 7. No other driver in Formula 1 history has more than that. We are talking 103 race wins, 104 pole positions, the most in the history of the sport. Nobody is even close to those numbers. And his driving style? It is something truly special. He is smooth, calculated and incredibly precise under braking. He finds time in corners where nobody else even looks for it.
A word from Nico Rosberg. It has been a hard fight all season.
First of all, even for me, it's emotional to watch this, yeah? Because of course I witnessed it from so close, and it's the greatest partnership in Formula 1 history, driver-team partnership. Crazy that it's coming to an end. And for him also, he's been with the Mercedes family since, what is the number? 30 years almost. I mean, it's really close to 30, close to 30 years. So how was it? He certainly has one of, or maybe the greatest natural talent the sport has ever seen. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. And there's so many occasions where we have the same car, we go out, we come in, and you look at the data, what he's done with that car, and it's just like, that's not even human. Like, what is that? Like, what is that? And I was a decent driver as well, you know? So I'm just, so many occasions where it's like, this is like insane. So unbelievable talent.
He reads a race like a chess grandmaster. Tyre management, overtaking, strategy calls. Hamilton is always thinking 3 moves ahead of everyone around him. And the thing about Hamilton that makes him different from every other driver is that he has always been fastest when the pressure is highest. When the championship is on the line, when the moment is biggest, that is when Lewis Hamilton shows up. But going into 2025, people started asking serious questions because something went very, very wrong. Because let me tell you, 2025 for Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari was the worst season of his entire career. No podiums, 0. He finished the season on just 156 points, compared to Leclerc's 242 points. He was getting passed by a Sauber in Barcelona. He called his own Ferrari on the radio live in front of everyone. The worst balance I have ever felt in a racing car. And Nico Rosberg, who knows Hamilton better than almost anyone on this planet, went on Sky F1 and said it was a very dark situation. He said, and I am quoting him directly here, "It is hard to watch." Hard to watch. That is Nico Rosberg talking about Lewis Hamilton. Even David Coulthard came out and said Hamilton had lost that half a tenth that always separated him from his teammates. That edge, that thing that made him Hamilton. People were genuinely saying out loud, is this the end? Is the greatest driver in Formula One history finished? And then came 2026, and everything changed. After Bahrain testing, Hamilton posted something on Instagram that sent every single F1 fan into an absolute meltdown. He wrote, "I'm not going anywhere, so stick with me." For a moment, I forgot who I was. But thanks to you and your support, you're not going to see that mindset again. Brother, I forgot who I was. A 7-time world champion is telling you he forgot who he was. That is the most honest thing any driver has ever posted on social media. And the fact that he said it after Bahrain testing, after what Ferrari showed the entire world, tells you everything about where his head is right now. He is back. And what he and Leclerc did in that SF26 has left the paddock absolutely speechless. Now let's talk about the car. Because the SF26 is not just fast, it is doing things that nobody has ever seen in Formula One. First, the rear wing. This thing flips 270 degrees, not 90 degrees, not 180 degrees, 270 degrees. Nothing like this has ever appeared in Formula One before. Hamilton debuted it during testing, and the entire paddock just stopped and stared. On top of that, Ferrari have put a heat-resistant wing element right next to the exhaust, an area of insane heat that no other team has even dared to touch. And Ferrari just went there anyway. And then there is the turbo configuration. Ferrari are believed to be running a smaller turbo, which is why their race starts are so aggressive and so powerful under the new 2026 regulations, at a time when every other team is struggling just to get off the line cleanly. And here is the most important thing. The FIA checked the rear wing. They confirmed it is 100% legal. The FIA's Nicolas Tombazis said, "We wanted to give teams more creative freedom and Ferrari's solution is fine." Fine. The most insane rear wing in Formula One history, and the FIA said it is completely fine. Now James Vowles, the Williams team boss and one of the sharpest minds in the entire paddock, looked at Ferrari's car and said, "They're constantly developing. They've cleverly packaged the active aerodynamics in the end plates." And then he admitted it was not even an approach he had considered. A rival team boss saying Ferrari did something that never even crossed his mind. That is how stunned everyone is right now. And then the times came out. Charles Leclerc on day one of the second Bahrain test posts a 1 minute 33.739. That is 0.313 seconds clear of Lando Norris, the reigning world champion, in a McLaren, and 0.300 of that gap came in just one single sector of the lap. One sector. Leclerc ended the entire week with the fastest qualifying simulation of any driver in any team, fastest, all week in Bahrain. Hamilton took the car in the afternoon sessions, racking up 73 laps with heavy long-run data, looking comfortable and confident in a car that just 6 months ago he said felt like an alien machine.